Hey everyone, it's your boy John, and I'm actually super sick. So if I like cough in the middle of the video, I got a cough drop in my mouth, so I'm trying not to fool you, boy Zach. But yeah, this is the problem with kids is they come home from school, they they touch everything at the school, they get a cough, they cough on you, and then you end up with this kind of thing, which makes things tough. So I'm going to talk about the graphic novel of the year, which you know, Zach actually was talking about how Wes was talking about the worst comics of the year. Like, you shouldn't do that at the end of November. Comics are kind of dead in December. They don't do a lot because, it's already too late, right, for the year. So things really don't come out then that are big deals. Typically, they come out in November, like right now, before the Christmas season, so that everybody can buy it for Christmas. So your boy Zach just acts like a tourist in the comic industry while he talks about this stuff. Now, I went down to my local comic shop, which I haven't gone in a couple months, and I like to support them. Even though I hate Marvel comics, DC comics, or whatever, I do like to support them. And so I went and I bought a couple things. I mentioned Red Coats Volume 2 yesterday, which excellent. It is my least favorite Ghost Machine book, but it's still excellent. I also got a Solomon Kane by Patrick Zurcher, which I think I might do a video on too. And then this one, which I'm still getting into. So the graphic novel of the year, and I've left up Flying Sparks intentionally. So everybody's like in the hate comments, oh, you're just going to shill your own book. Yeah, probably. My books are pretty good, so I hope you'll check them out. This is my Substack where you can actually just start reading for free. It is in the description below, and I hope you'll sign up for it because as I post pages, they'll just go up. You can get 4.5 issues of Flying Sparks right now, and if you sign up and support like a Patreon, it's like $5, just like Patreon or whatnot. It helps the channel here. It helps us do what we're doing as we are trying to make independent comics and do things differently. Now, what I'm going to talk about, and I hope you'll hit the like and subscribe as we talk about this. And I'm hiding, my graphic novel of the year intentionally because I'm baiting you with all this and making you excited. Yes, we're building up to it. We're building the lead. I know, hard to do while I'm sick is to be excited about something. But I read this and I wasn't expecting much from it because I was expecting it to be good, not great. And it's because of the subject matter, which is not something I'd usually be into, and I'll explain that too. But it was really that good and that emotionally riveting that I really think that everybody should pick this up. And it's not a normal thing. This is a tough thing to do, to talk about comics like this, because nobody pays attention to independent comics. Nobody pays attention to anything except for Marvel and DC, or they pay attention to the drama around Comicsgate, which they don't even care about comics too. And so this is something difficult to talk about. So I'm glad you're here with me. And that's what we're trying to build with this movement is people who actually care about comics. So let's get into this right now. In my graphic novel of the year, you're going to be shocked. Partisan by Garth Ennis and Steve Epting. Now this just came out. It's from TKO Comics. TKO Studios actually dropped a few years back. And I thought they were out of business, to be honest. They came out with a few different things right out the gate. They really vastly overpaid their creators, from what I understand, and they're trying to mine a lot of this stuff for IPs, like hoping that they can get streaming for Netflix. That's the model. Nobody cares about comics, right? And so they got Garth Ennis. They got a guy, Joshua Dysart, who did really good work at Valiant, and one of the guys who runs it came from some Netflix shows too, and did some good books too. To start their second round, they hired a lot of the Whisper Network comic professionals who were not as good, and they really just fell off I just stopped paying attention at that point because they were not making books for me anymore, which is kind of what most of the comic industry does in general, right? And so I thought they were gone. And I thought they were out of business, and I just haven't paid attention to them for a while. So this was these four: Sara, Seven Deadly Sins, Goodnight Paradise, and Fearsome Dr. Fang were their first for their wave one, right? Wave two, like I said, big problems. You've got some chicks, I don't know who they are. I don't know who that is. Roxanne Gay is a Whisper Network person, and Jeff Lemire is just one of those guys who people pretend to like, but they don't like him very much. And at that point, I tuned out. So you got Steve Orlando in the next one. He's another, gay Whisper Network guy within the industry. Not much here. And I guess they've had multiple waves. I didn't even know these ones came out. So Forgotten Blade, I might have to check out that one. That looks pretty good. As I go through here, I don't know about this other stuff or what it is. Tim Seeley, that's Big Whisper Network right there. So again, Paul Cornell's pretty good. But so hit and miss in their future waves. Their first wave was so good, I was really, really excited for them. And like I said, I didn't even know they were still in business with this new stuff here. Now, Garth Ennis' Sara with Steve Epting and Elizabeth Brightweiser on colors was in that first one. They got a hardcover now. It's awesome. I might pick that up. This was excellent. And it was a World War II story. And I'm not really into World War II stories. I think I'm annoyed by it. It's played out. I'm just like, I want to hear about any other time in history other than against the literal Nazis. It's like, please stop. And so I'm automatically predisposed to just like be bored with the whole topic. And especially when he did a female lead in the World War II, it's like, oh no. But I looked it up, and it's actually a historical thing. These Russian women were real snipers, and they did this real work. And he built a beautiful character with Sara. And Steve Epting's art is out of control, so good. You probably know him from Captain America with Ed Brubaker back in the day. And Elizabeth Brightweiser's colors are off the charts too. So this was just like a excellent 9 out of 10 book right away, and really well done. Like enough that I might get that hardcover and actually follow up on it. Now, they just came out with Partisan now, and they didn't have Elizabeth Brightweiser on colors, but they have somebody who did very similar style to what was done before with Steve Epting art. And I'm like, okay, so is this a follow-up to it? It kind of is. But it is an original story. Now, Garth Ennis has mostly been writing World War II stories and war stories and the like lately. It's just kind of what he wants to do. He doesn't really care about doing much else. And so he does a lot of this stuff. And a lot of it on his own other stuff has been pretty hit and miss, but these TKO ones are excellent. So again, now we're in 2025, right? And again, we got a female lead. We got a World War II, like against the literal Nazis. I'm ready to be like, okay, I'll give you this one and I'll read it, but I'm not expecting anything fantastic about it. Now, this is about a woman who is raising 2 children. Her husband goes off to war, and then the Nazis invade Russia, and she has to deal with it. She gets caught up in a whole situation. A Jewish lady down the street is getting rounded up and the like. And at that point, I'm like, oh gosh, this is going to be an annoying book. She ends up being caught with her, so they had to run off together with the kids to survive. And this lady has a little baby. Now it gets very, very dark, and there's an emotional scene in it which is horrific, like so bad. And Garth Ennis does this. This is a hallmark of his writing, is he loves to be gruesome and over the top. But it's so bad, and I'm going to try to not spoil much of this stuff, that I almost stopped reading it. It was like I was sickened, like to the point where I'm like, I'm done, and that's what we happened with this. Now, you can see the art here. Like Steve Epting's art is phenomenal. This coloring is phenomenal. This is just top tier, and you could see like just the tanks and the trucks as the soldiers roll in, and this is the entire opening scene right here as she sees the soldiers roll into her town, and she gets scared. And they don't speak the same language, so he tries to communicate with her to start. And actually, they're not that bad against her to start. Like she just gives them some eggs. They give her some money, and they act reasonable. But then it just goes crazy. So as she goes through, she ends up like accidentally killing a Russian or a German soldier. Well, not accidentally. He was gonna rape her, and it was really, really gruesome again. So she kills him, and then she really has to be on the run. And then she ends up working with these guys in this military unit to actually help them defend Russia as it goes through, and it just escalates and escalates and escalates, and into a point where like the war gets really, really brutal, and you can't even put it down because you're like, what's going to happen? Are these kids going to survive? Is she going to survive? And he actually formats some of this stuff just with the way he goes forward and goes back and follows on what happens within the individual issues to a very suspenseful rate where it was just like absolutely phenomenal. Great characters with the kids. And the kids have to see all these horrors, and they notice that growing up, and it's terrible, and you feel for them. And I haven't had a graphic novel like make me really feel something like that in a long, long time, and this did. And you could see, art's perfect. There's very little you can even like talk about with it because it's so perfect. Look at this. Look at just these backgrounds. Look at this, like the small little shack houses. The guys just the detail with the guys in the tanks. Oh my gosh, just so good. All the way around, phenomenal. And it does have a satisfying ending. The character ends and gets the ending story. I'm not going to spoil it again. And that's it. As this is really, really the graphic novel of the year. And it did. It had to overcome my not really wanting to read a World War II story again, not wanting to deal with like that kind of thing because I'm just sick of it, not wanting to deal with another strong female lead. It overcame all that and it was that good even with it. So that's it. This is a pretty positive comic story for the day. Hope you enjoyed this review. This is Partisan, TKO Stories. And thanks for being here, guys. Hit the like and subscribe button. Join us. And if you like comics, make sure to sign up for my comic Substack. Start reading today. It's in the description below. We'll be back soon.